welcome to Paranormality. Hello, I'm Tony Pratt, host of Paranormality, where the mystery is real and the paranormal is normal. Join us as we embark on a mystical journey exploring the secrets of time, space, and dimensional awareness. The fact you are listening at this moment is no mere accident. We are creating this reality together. As the universal experience unfolds before us on tonight's edition of Paranormality. Hello and welcome to Paranormality. Tonight's edition of Paranormality is Extreme Human Antiquity. Tonight's discussion with Dr. Michael Cremo, who is a world-renowned expert in archaeological evidence for extreme human antiquity and alternative theories of human origins. He is principal author of the book Forbidden Archeology, and his latest book is Human Devolution, a Vedic alternative to Darwin's theory. Welcome to Paranormality, Michael Cremo.
I'm very happy to be with you, Tony, and all of your listeners.
Great. How's life treating you out there in the world of controversy?
Well, I'm always having a lot of fun speaking to my different audiences. You know, I've got a lot of different audiences that I speak to. Sometimes I'm speaking to scientific audiences at major scientific institutions and scientific conferences and science departments at universities. And then other times I'm speaking to alternative science researchers. I'm just back from San Jose, California, where I gave some talks at a UFO expo there. They seem to be interested in what I have to say. And in September, I'm going off to one of those scientific conferences in Europe. I'll be speaking at the European Association of Archaeologists annual conference. So it's been busy.
And that was the Bay Area UFO conference that you were just at?
That's right.
Okay, yeah, that was promoted on Coast to Coast, and you made a recent appearance on there as well.
I did, that's right, a couple weeks ago, just before the conference.
Okay. Michael, what exactly are your academic credentials and background? I mean, where did you earn your doctorate, and what field was it in?
My doctorate is an honorary degree from a university in Europe. It's in science and theology because I deal with both spiritual questions and scientific questions. It was given to me in recognition for my life's work in this area. When I went to university, I didn't study what I'm now working in. I went to the George Washington University in Washington, D.C., School of International Relations, back in the 1960s. And at that time, I was preparing for a career either in the diplomatic service or in one of the intelligence services. So this topic that I've been researching for the past 20 years is not something that I studied in universities. You couldn't study it in a university, actually, because this sort of thing isn't taught in universities. It's something that at this point you more or less have to find out on your own. So this, the way I got onto this track was I was, back when I was in my 20s, I was looking around for a worldview that made sense to me because the modern scientific worldview just wasn't making a whole lot of sense to me.
Right.
So I was attracted to the ancient spiritual culture of India somehow or other, and I found a teacher there that I liked. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada was his name, and I began studying under him. Of course, I learned a lot of things. I became a vegetarian. I started believing in reincarnation and things like that. But I also started studying the ancient Sanskrit writings of India, particularly a group called the Puranas, or the Histories. And these ancient books told of human civilizations, of a human presence that goes back on this planet tens of millions, even hundreds of millions of years, right to the very beginnings of the history of life on Earth. Now, of course, this is something that you find not just in these ancient Sanskrit writings, it's also in the Bible, it's in the Koran, it's in practically every spiritual tradition that's ever existed down to the world's history. Namely, the idea is there in all of them that humans have been around since the beginning. We didn't evolve from apes. We've been put here for a purpose.
Okay, yeah, you might be one of my few guests that might share some beliefs in common with fundamentalists. Although they, I don't know if they probably don't like you either if they think the Earth is only 7,000 years old.
Well, you're right about that, Tony. Actually, my book, The Hidden History of the Human Race, which is the abridged version of my book, Forbidden Archeology, got a very favorable review in Creation Research Society Quarterly. And that's the main scientific journal of the young Earth Christian creationists. And they said, well, we like the book. I mean, we don't like the idea that Michael Cremo's talking about these long spans of time, but he's presenting evidence that contradicts the Darwinian theory of evolution. What I tell my young Earth Christian creationist friends is, whether we believe the Earth is a few thousand years old or a few billion years old, as modern science now believes, humans have been around since the beginning of the history of life here, and that's the main thing. And I think at least we can agree on that, and then we can talk about the age of the Earth afterwards.
Michael, your book is called Forbidden Archeology, and it purports to lift the veil of silence that conceals disturbing ideas on the earliest antiquity of mankind, and in it you claim Darwinian orthodoxy tendentiously eliminates all archaeological evidence showing that Homo sapiens is not a recent product of evolution, and that he has long shared the earth with numerous ape-like hominids from which he cannot be descended. Do you accept any aspect of the general proposition that species do in fact evolve?
Well, I really don't accept what's called macroevolution. I think we all know you can take dogs and you can breed dogs. If you put big dogs with other big dogs, you're going to get bigger dogs. If you put short-haired dogs with other short-haired dogs, their offspring are going to be short-haired dogs.
Yes.
So I think we all know that you can breed animals to a considerable degree. I mean, all the different kinds of dogs that we see in the world today, from Chihuahuas to Great Danes, all come from the same original species that came from the wolf, probably. So that much I can accept. But all those different kinds of dogs, they're still dogs. They're still interfertile. They can breed with each other. Same with horses. You got all kinds of horses in the world: big horses, little horses, shaggy-haired ponies. You've got horses with fine short hair. You've got all kinds of horses, but they're still horses. They can interbreed with each other. So that much I accept, that by breeding different animals and plants, you can go to a certain extent. But you can't breed a dog that'll fly.
Right.
You can't breed a dog with wings. Now, if you could breed a dog with a chicken and get a dog that flew, that could fly, that would be pretty darned interesting,
yes,
I would say.
It would. I don't think you can do that, though. I don't think it works like that. So you're saying basically that humans have pretty much always had opposable thumbs, though. I mean, where do you exactly draw the line as far as
Well, yes.
traits?
Well, of course, you can see there's all kinds of human beings around today, but basically they all share the same features. They're called anatomically modern humans. They're different, somewhat different from the species of apes and monkeys that existed in the distant past. the different kinds of very primitive ape men that go under different scientific names, like Australopithecus and so on.